Thank you for tuning in. You are listening to Shop Talk Radio, and I am your host, Styles by Joni. And you are tuned into WDRB Media, where the voice is the community. And we're going to be discussing, guys, dating and relationships in our community and our culture and what it is and what's going on out here. Because people trying to find love.
Oh yeah.
And dating, but it's just it's a stumbling block somewhere in there. But first, guys, I want to introduce you to Vanette.
Hello.
Vanette, yep. Hi, Vanette. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Good, good. Vanette is a wise woman, guys. Vanette, I've been knowing her for some time, and her wisdom is out of the world. So I decided to bring her on to this series of dating and relationships because she may give a different insight to you guys that maybe can help you guys. So Vanette, how you been?
I've been fine.
Good, good.
Okay.
I've been good, maintaining.
All right.
But Miss Vanette, you've been watching some of my shows. I've been talking about the dating and relationships and why people cannot find love out here, or what are some of the stumbling blocks why they cannot. So what do you think what do you think about it being so many single people out here, men and women in our culture trying to find love?
Well, some people's standards is very high, and I can understand that. And also, this is the new generation. So with the new generation, they want things to go a certain way, and a lot of times it don't. And a lot of times in these dating and relationships, you don't ask the right questions, and you don't look for the right things that you should be looking for. But I'm talking now about the younger generation, because they want the person to have money, whether it's a man or a woman. They want you to have plenty of money.
You're absolutely right.
Right. And I feel like in a relationship, everybody should come 100%, because as you know, a lot of people say, oh, in a relationship, it's 50-50. No, it's 100% on both parts.
Both parts. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, because if it's not 100%, let's say I'm doing 50 and he's doing 50, we still like him.
Right.
How can they give us 100%, right?
Right.
Okay. And a lot of times the woman is the loyal person. I didn't say all the time, but I said a lot of times. But with the dating, you have to ask the right questions. You have to be watching.
Let me stop you there. When you say ask the right questions, because this will actually sum up and help, or maybe give light to some that maybe, it will help. So when you say ask questions, what are at least 3 of those questions? What are the questions you think they should be asking, like up front, right?
Up front. Like if you're a woman and you see this man and you like this man and you might think about dating him, you ask him what is his likes. And another thing you do is you ask him, what do you do? And what do you think about family? That's if you have family and stuff. What you think about family? And then a lot of times you can listen and basically kind of feel where this person is going, because a lot of times in these dating relationships, when you asking these questions, sometimes you might get a straight answer and sometimes you may not. If you get a person that's stuttering, then that's a red flag. Let's think about it. That's a red flag.
And you do believe in red flags, right? Red flags are there. They are present.
Yes, red flags is always going to be there. It's going to be something that kind of catch your attention. And these days and time in dating, one of the things the woman need to look at with a man is look how he's dressed. And I'm gonna tell you why I said that. Because some men, you know what I'm saying, right?
No, I'm saying, please elaborate on that. Like the way they dress, how they look, the way they, yeah.
Well, listen, older men, I'm gonna put it this way, most of the time they be on the grown man stuff or whatever, and they be on point. But some of these young people, some of these young men, I question it with the way they dress. Sometimes they be on point, but sometimes too much on point. And
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying every person is like this, but there be some that be kind of like on the down low. You know what I'm saying?
The
Because
down low?
yeah, they be on the down low, but
Okay.
either let me put it this way, they go both ways. And
Okay. It's a
that's
lot of that. It's a lot of that. A lot of men have been agreeing to,
yeah,
being open to that. Yeah,
and there's some women that's open to that too.
exactly. It's a lot going on out there.
Yeah, but people have to be careful these days because it's so many different things out there. You know,
Mhm.
like if you gonna be with a person. This is the thing about dating. When you first meet a person, whether you're a woman or a man, if the first thing they bring to you is sex, then you know that you can never be no more than just a sex tool or a sex object with them.
Exactly. Now, say that again because that is so true. Because a lot of women, what they do is give themselves their body up so soon. And then
Yes,
once they give their body up, he done got what he wanted. So, what you thought that would like in the relationship or to build, you you probably messed that up by giving up your body so soon.
that's right. Because now he knows most men they don't want to be with a woman that's so quick because then they'll feel like if they leave you around their friends, then you might do it with their friends too because you didn't know him and
Right,
you
right,
don't know
right.
friends. But there's a lot in dating nowadays. There's a lot of men that try women. I could tell you, like in different countries. I went to Africa in 2012 and I got married. And this guy, he really tested me. And I knew it was like a real test. He kept leaving me with his friends. And I sat there and I had a decent conversation with them. But when he came back, I asked him, why are you leaving me with your friends? I don't know them.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? But I waited until they left. And then I had a conversation with him. And I said, if there's anything you want to know about me, you can ask me. Don't try to be slick because I can read through that.
Right,
That's
right.
that's one of the things too. I was saying that's a red flag too with a man. Sometimes they be trying to test you. And
Right.
then
That's true.
and sometimes with a woman know the things to do to test you too. She might leave her fast little friend in the room with you and they probably already talked about something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do stuff like that just to test each other. But then again, playing those type of games, you might get the answer you're looking for. You know what I mean? And
That's true.
then, and then what you're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So
True. But you know what? What I've realized and I've learned from very knowledgeable people like one person is like yourself is when you're loyal to somebody, nobody can take that away from you. That's something that you grew up with. That's something that you had like was instilled in you from a child.
that's
To
right.
me,
Loyalty. Yeah, that's true.
loyalty,
Loyalty. Everybody can't be loyal. You're absolutely right.
no, everybody can't be loyal, especially in a relationship. But when you find a person that's like that, that's something that they grew up with. That's not something that just comes like off head. You know what I'm saying?
I
It don't
agree.
come right to you. Yes. So it just take time. I feel like in a woman, me being a woman should wait. If a man approach you and say he wants sex, that is not the person for you to date.
Right, right. Because that right now, that's a red flag. Because
That-
if you want more, if you
Yep.
want more in a relationship, that's not the first thing you might want to do. Not today. Like in this generation, it's different. Like the
Right. Right. That's
mindset in dating is very different today.
it is. It really is. And if you check the older generation, a lot of time we are on that old time stuff like, oh, I'm going to coat him for a while, because that's what they used to say. Oh, you should coat him for a while before you go to bed with him or whatever the case may be. But you should really talk to a person to find out what their mental state is as well, because that's why you see a lot of people they date and they don't really stay together for a long time because
Right.
they have mental problems.
And they're missing that 3-month rule. There is
And-
actually like since they're not courting, what they
right,
should do is do the 3-month rule. Three
right.
months, don't have sex.
That's
Don't
right.
have sex. Talk about, ask questions, who they are, see where they
Mhm.
go, see,
Yeah.
what they're telling you, and learn that person, date that way
Right.
versus having sex and going. So right now, what they're doing, right, they'll even fly each other out. People are meeting each other, going to different states to meet somebody.
Yeah, in different countries too.
Different countries too. And then once they get there, some of those meetings are not what either or thought it would be. Like
Yeah,
the man may think he's gonna get some, sex or something like that. And then if
right.
that doesn't happen, then that's not a good arrangement. You see, now somebody's upset, somebody mad and angry, and and
Yeah.
make sure ladies have your own money if you're going to meet these people. Men,
Amen.
women, both have your own money so you can get back home.
That's true. That's right.
Now let me ask. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you think all men cheat? Because this was something that is out there that they're pushing, and I think it's like an agenda, just to, I don't know, like uplifting the community and uplifting people in relationships. Why would you say that all men cheat? Do you believe that?
I don't think that all men cheat. Everybody have a different upbringing, okay? So no, all men do not cheat. Now if they talking about what they eyes, like some men, if they see something that look good to them, well, they gonna follow. They have eyes. They supposed to look. That doesn't mean that they're cheating.
That's
No,
natural. That's natural.
all men don't cheat.
Mhm.
And I don't think that that's a right statement for somebody to make, because that's wrong. I'm gonna tell you,
Right.
I've met a lot of men in my life, and there's a lot of men that love whoever they're with, and they know how to talk to you in a decent way, and they don't get fresh. No, so all men don't cheat. I don't believe that. No.
I concur and I agree that
Yeah.
all men don't cheat. And for someone to say that, it is putting a small spectrum in our culture, in our mindsets, in dating and relationships. Like what is there to look forward to if all men cheat? You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? What chances you have? All men don't cheat. It's not a true fact. You
No,
might cheat.
that's
That
right.
does not mean put everybody else in that category, because that's not true. So women, it's not true. Don't go for it. All men don't cheat.
No,
Ask
they don't
questions. Find
act.
out who the man that you're with. You have to do the 3-month rule. Give it
Well,
3 months.
something. I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like uh where you saying the 3-month rule, I feel like people ought to get to know each other first and see and know what they're getting into. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might take a little bit more than 3 months,
Yeah,
because some
that's
men,
true.
let me tell you something. Some men want a woman that's like his mama. If that,
Oh
if that,
boy.
yeah, some men want a woman that's like his mama. When you say no, no is no. When you say yes, yes is yes. And on top of that, they want you to carry yourself like a woman at all times. You understand?
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because that's why I'm saying there is some good men out here. There's a lot of them, but a lot of times some women been through a lot of different bad times in their life, or maybe they had mishaps. And so when they do run into a good man, which they call a renaissance man,
Right.
that really got, they mistreat them
Right.
because
They don't choose that man. They don't
that
choose that man.
they don't choose that man. They choose the one that ain't gonna do jack for them.
Right. We're
Some,
gonna
that's
say that again.
I said that's not all of them. I said that's
No.
some people,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
men and women. But I feel like in this life of dating, nowadays people should talk to each other. Talk to each other. See if you can relate with each other mentally. Forget about the physical. If
Right,
you
right. Find out who the person is. It's very important today, because you
that's
might be dating and getting into a Jekyll and a Hyde. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know who the person is. But I
right.
want everybody to remember an important fact, right? You want to get in a relationship that is healthy for you and healthy for that person. And you want a full circle.
That's
Full
right.
circle, you're going all the way around. 50
That's
50 is 100. So you're going from the top like a clock all the way around to figure out who this person is and what you guys want.
That's
Okay,
right.
remember the 3-month rule, or it may take a little longer for you to find out who this person is.
That's right.
And at least the threes, you need to at least have threes, the threes. Like
That,
one of my guests always says is the threes you should have, which is a job, a car, or a house, a home to lay your head. You got to come with at least 3 of those.
amen. Amen. And each person should have that.
Each
So
person should have that,
that's right.
the
No
man
person.
or the woman.
That's right.
So
That person.
guys, we're gonna take a pause right quick. You are
Okay.
listening to Shop Talk Radio 2020. Vanette, thank you for coming on. And again, guys, remember to be blessed and definitely not stressed. And there is love out there. Do not hesitate. Keep it going, but make sure you educate yourself. Again, until next time, peace out.
All right.
Vanette. So what you were saying, Vanette?
No, I was
Just
just
now.
saying, yeah, about the dating part, because a lot of times you look out here for a person, but I'm going to tell you something that I've seen. Okay, you might be talking to a person and that man might seem real nice, but then when you see this, you see what
Right.
it might be a mistake on his behalf, but now when you're a woman, you be like, that's strange. A man don't hold his hand like that unless he down low. Seriously.
So
But
you're saying there's a lot of things that a woman should look at.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Stop ignoring the signs.
Amen. Amen. It be a flashlight going off the whole time, and a lot of times they don't look for that. Like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but for instance, like some men that been to prison for 25 to 30 years, I don't know.
So what you think? They played around or something like that? You don't think they what you saying?
You mean stay straight for the whole time?
Right.
No, and that go for women too. Some women go to prison and be in there for years and they don't stay straight because they have to deal with whatever's in front of them a lot of times.
Right. And some of those men that be in there, actually they date those guards too, the women.
Yeah, they do.
They date those guards too. So things have changed, in that realm, to think if you're in jail for a long period of time that you're going to be with a man. But if a man does something like that and he know who he is,
that's right.
there's a possibility he's still a man. That don't mean you take away his manhood because of situation.
He's still a man. That's what I was trying to make a point of. And a woman is still a woman, but sometimes people just deal with what they are dealt with
at that time.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that, and a lot of times when some of the men and the women come out, you know what happens? They just be like, oh, well, forget it. I'm going to be with whoever I want to be with. That's how most of this stuff came, with swinging and women being with women and men being with men. Because to experiment or whatever. But
right.
And so it makes sometimes the dating kind of hard because you got to try to find somebody that's compatible with you.
Right. What do you think happened with like this new generation is so different from the old school generation you and I come from? So we tried to do what our parents did, which was marry, stay with the family, values, morals, loyalty, honesty, and the man was there, What do you think happened in the mindset? Well, people really don't. The concept of marriage changed a lot. A lot of people say, well, I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that I'm married to someone, or they don't want to follow the rule of the government in marriage. What do you think changed in that concept? Like, people just really not like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you what I feel. In my heart, I feel like a lot of kids, when they was growing up, they watched their parents. They listened to some of the things that the parents were saying. That's why when kids were little back in the days, when I was little, they made us go to our room so we couldn't hear the conversation. But a lot of kids now, they hear things and they see things. Like, they might see their mom and daddy going through an abusive relationship, and maybe the daddy or the mother might say something that's bad, about, oh, I got your kids and this and that and the other. Now, these kids have grown up with a different type of mindset because the younger generation is not going to tolerate what we did. So
Right.
they feel like, shoot. And when maybe daddy and mama separated, daddy went somewhere and stayed for a while and came back, they feel like, well, shoot, ain't no use of being married. Why should I be married to the person? I
Right.
could just do that,
That, that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement because that's a good way to look at it. It's the upbringing now. So
Yeah,
since there's a lot of single, moms out here, a lot of baby mamas, baby daddies, what do
yeah,
they have to look forward to? What are they looking up to? You see what I'm saying? So it
true.
changes the dynamic of dating. It changes the dynamic of what a person wants.
That's true. But you know what I noticed in a relationship? Now, there's a lot of single dads as well, but what I noticed in a relationship, most of the time, the woman is the doer. She's the goer. She's the queen. She's the one that make things happen a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but I'm going to tell you something. Just because she do that, that doesn't mean that at times she don't get by herself and cry and maybe feel pain, but she still keep that aura about her, and she try to keep the family together because that's something that was
That's
done in the past, like in our mom and dad
Yeah,
times,
that's true. Because my grandmother was the soul kept it together, and my
yeah,
grandfather he was the provider.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So you're right about that, and we still want that, but it's
yeah,
harder. It's harder today. It's like I don't know what happened with the men's mindset. It's like they can't seem to get it together. Even and the women too, the females too.
yeah.
It's harder today.
It's I think that what happens is it's a lot of times that the younger people is a little bit more weak. Their mind is weaker than ours, and they can't get a grasp on how our parents, how is it that my parents said different things to each other? How is it that they fought and they stayed
You're
together?
right.
But
They're softer today.
yeah, and they feel like because the parents went out, the daddy went out and probably had a girlfriend, the mama went out and had a boyfriend. They don't understand that. When you little, you don't understand it, but when you get older, you start to understand it, and then you pick up on what your parents is doing, and this is what's going on in the community today. You're
Mhm.
not supposed to let your little kids hear you when you're arguing. I don't care if you're girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, and wife. You make that child go away so that child don't hear different things, because it might be things that you say that you can't take back, and it might scar that child for life.
Right, and it affects the child. You're right, and a lot of things that's going on today. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on at home that's affecting these kids.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot. Like if the parents talking to each other, oh, I hate you. Now, that's a bad statement to make in front of your child, because that child is looking at mom and daddy and they saying, wow, if they hate each other, they probably hate me too. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. That's a powerful word. You should never use hate. We have
Yeah.
enough hate out here in the world to use that in your homes. You shouldn't use that. Yeah.
And that's what caused a lot of the youth today. They do drugs, they be out there getting in trouble. And then when you talk to them and ask them what's going on, they shut down on you because sometimes they don't want to tell the parents what it was that they said. I don't know why they feel that way, but sometimes they don't want to tell them because they don't want to upset them more. And I feel like, I'm gonna be honest, in our community, we need to talk to our kids more, and we need to be let them know about these relationships. And it's a good thing when the father is in the home, because he can tell his daughter or his son about these relationships, and it
It's
helps.
very important. It's very important. And
It's,
when you said about we should talk to our kids, I
yes,
I remember doing that monthly. I got
yeah,
my kids together and we had a conversation on everything that was bothering or anything any issues or anything,
yeah,
and we talked about it and got it out. You know what I mean? And I think that's very important to do it once a week, do it once a month, get your kids together and talk about what's going on with them, talk
yeah,
about, just everything, see how everybody is doing because the
yeah.
mental sanity is real.
Yes, it
It's
is.
so strong out here mentally. What a lot of people are going through is on a rise. You know what I mean? Like
You're
the
right.
pressures. like you say about the soft and the weakness of people today, or
Yeah,
youth and generation, it's a very strong mental hold on our community.
it is. It really is. And then you know what I feel like too? I feel like sometimes when you have friends, family, sometimes everybody should get together. You don't have to be a real family to get together. You can have the community, and they should have like these meetings where they have some for the youth,
Yeah,
some for the parents,
yeah,
some people that's trying to find out about themselves and talk. Everybody get together and talk and see what's going on with each other, because maybe you might be going through something that somebody else went through, but they didn't know who to ask. They
right,
didn't know what to
right.
do. And it helps. It helps.
Yes, it
It's,
does.
a community.
It takes a village. It takes a village to
That's right.
raise a child. It takes a community to rise up. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's just it's hard to do that. What you just said, that is something that I would love to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just hard to get people on your team. It's hard to get people together.
That's true. Because you know why? A lot of times what I notice about the kids, like if they talk to their parents and the parents kind of shut them down, oh girl, oh boy, shut them down, then it's like it bothers them. So
Yeah,
now they don't want to go to no other adult and open up, because you know what? They've been shut down by the person that's supposed to love them the most.
right. And then they end up going to the streets.
That's right. They go
Then
to
they
the
end up going to the streets. So yeah,
but
yeah. So is it, huh?
I said, I think we just need to learn how to talk to our kids more and tell them, like, you know how when you working somewhere and they say there's an open door policy, a
Right.
parent, we should have an open door policy. Anytime you want to talk to me about anything, just come to me. As long as I'm not busy. But if I'm too busy and you say, Mom, Dad, is important, then whatever you doing, unless you at work or something, then you should talk to them and see what's going on. Because you know what I noticed? In this community, there's a lot of people committing suicide.
Yeah.
They feel like they're not loved.
They not loved. They don't have nobody, you know. Yeah,
That's,
that's true. That's true.
and sometimes all a person needs is for you to listen to them. That's
Right.
it.
Just yeah. It's
And
true, guys. I hope you guys hear Miss Vanette. She is speaking some true facts and some wisdom and sharing with you guys. And I hope that you guys this helps somebody.
yeah,
There are resources out there, but you just gotta find them, you know.
that's
It's real hard today, you know, like they're out there, but sometimes they're not working, or
that.
you know, but just search it out and see. But Miss Vanette will be coming back on with us. Vanette, is there anything else that you would like to share or say to the people who was out there trying to date in this cesspool of it's so hard out here.
Don't get discouraged, but you know what you want and what you're looking for. You find a person that's on your level. Never mess with somebody that's below your standard or your level. You know why? Because you'll never be happy. That's why I said ask the questions. Whatever it is that you like, you do that. But let me just tell you, give you a little tip on when you getting ready to date somebody. Never tell a person everything you've been through, because you know why? If a lot of that stuff is negative, they will try to apply it on your life.
Right,
All you
use it right against you.
That's right. So all you want to do is get to know that person first before you go that further.
Disclose it. Exactly. And she is absolutely telling the truth. That when it comes to that, when you want to tell them everything, that's going to take up to about 5 years. Spread that stuff out.
Yeah,
Spread
that's
it
true.
out with each other so you can enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Work it through, break it down. Because it's
That's
gonna
right.
take some breaking down now, which you share with each other. And
That's
you're gonna have to be able to accept what somebody else is giving to you. That's somebody giving you a blessing. They give
that's
you the ups on their flaws.
that's
They're
right.
giving you the ups on who they are. So you're supposed to embrace that, accept it, and
Hey,
then let that person know what you feel about it. But guys, Miss Vanette, it was such a pleasure having your beautiful self on here with me. And you
thank,
gotta come back because you are the one.
thank you, Queen.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I said thank you, Queen. I would love to come back.
Yes, ma'am. And guys, let's break the cycle. Whatever that is for you, create your own legacy. You
That's right.
don't have to follow suit. You don't have to follow everyone. Break
That's
the cycle and raise your children up to be positive, productive, loving, valued, moral individuals.
that's right. And be leaders and not followers.
Exactly.
There it
And
is.
again, until next time, you are listening to Shop Talk Radio 2020. Remember to tune in every Wednesday, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on iHeartRadio, Apple Music. Tune in and streamer. Miss Vanette, love you.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome, dear.
Hey.